Hello, so today's video is going to be a little bit different than videos I've done in the past. I kind of want to just put out a little spiel. That's, I think how you say it. But yeah, I originally created my channel to kind of document personal growth and share my experience with other people in hopes that it will help other people, or even if they just find comfort in relating to it or seeing, or just maybe it's fun to watch people grow. I don't know, but I really wanted to get back to the reason that I started this channel and have a conversation about good old life and health and mental health specifically. I've been noticing I say mental health sometimes, like mint. Gotta stop that. But mental I want to talk about mental health today, and I'm specifically going to be talking about therapy and if I think therapy is worth it and my experience with therapy and if I think you should give it a try. I was super opposed to therapy at one point in my life because therapy can be a scary thing. For me, the thing that keeps me away from therapy sometimes is the fact that I don't always want to talk about what's going on in my life. Sometimes I feel not ready to process certain things. And I feel like because I'm going to therapy, I have to talk about them, but I'm not ready. And it becomes like this really uncomfortable thing, and it almost makes me feel worse because I'm not ready to fully open up about something, but I feel like because I'm actively in therapy in one situation, I have to. So a little bit about my past in therapy. I've been in and out of therapy since high school. I'm in my junior year of college now, so it's been a minute since I've started on and off. Obviously, I've been through many different therapists. One thing I'll say is it's okay if you do not like your therapist, because my first therapist I hated, and I thought I hated therapy, but it just turns out my therapist was just not for me, and that's okay. And don't feel bad if you have to, don't feel like you're, being mean if you don't like your therapist. It's about you, and at the end of the day, your therapist is being paid. So, don't feel bad. But yeah, the other thing that I will say that I've learned when it comes to therapy is I tend to start skipping appointments and not wanting to go, or just completely cutting a therapist off and not looking for a new therapist, just because of the fact that I start to feel closed off. I think that there's periods of time where I feel very open to talking to my therapist and I really want to talk things out. But there's sometimes where certain things will come up in my life where I don't want to talk about it. And it's hard for me to give advice on this because I do it and I'm still in the cycle of getting therapists and ghosting them. But there have been times where I've really enjoyed therapy. And I think that one of the things that I have to remember, and I would advise other people to remember when it comes to therapy, is just you don't have to talk about things that you don't want to talk about if you're not ready. Therapy, yes, is meant to be uncomfortable in certain ways, but it should also be a comfortable place, if that makes any sense. And if you are not ready to talk about something, say that. At the end of the day, you or your insurance or whoever it be is paying that therapist. It's your decision what you want to talk about during that time. I need to go to therapy just because of these sirens. They're gonna drive me crazy. But yeah, it's your choice what you get to talk about during that time. And even if all you want to talk about is how your day went and how you struggled getting out of bed this morning because you were fucking tired, you can talk about everyday things in therapy. And you can also express to your therapist, hey, I don't want to talk about this right now. And I'll think about it, and I'll think about if I eventually do want to speak about it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But you are allowed to have boundaries, even in therapy. Please have boundaries. And I think that I didn't really realize that. I kind of just let my therapist lead a lot of my sessions, and it just led to me being really uncomfortable. And I know that therapy is meant to be uncomfortable, and I'm not saying don't push yourself, to talk about uncomfortable things, because you should. Like, if you know that this is something that you need to figure out, then it should be, you know, something you speak about with your therapist. Or if it's something you came to therapy for, definitely don't push it off forever. But if you're having a bad day and you feel like talking about this might push you off the edge and you gotta be somewhere after this session, don't talk about it. I just want to say, like, all these feelings are normal, and I don't necessarily have solutions to all of them or right answers to all of them. But yeah, so getting over the fear of therapy and the hump of therapy is difficult. But what I will say, during the time periods where I was very mentally invested in my therapy and really focused on trying to heal myself, it has helped tremendously when I had the right therapist. So I will say, getting into therapy, getting into the right therapist, getting into the groove is hard. I will admit that. And maybe for some people, they just fell right into it. Lucky duckies. Not I, not most people, right? So it's hard initially, but I think when you find a good therapist and you kind of get into a groove, therapy can be so, so helpful. And if you've never tried it, I strongly recommend you try it. My last therapist left the practice. I was pretty happy with her, but I was sometimes very unhappy with her. I was kind of bipolar with her. And when I found out she was leaving, I kind of like ghosted her. Oh my God, I'm so toxic. I'm therapy toxic. Yeah, I ghosted my therapist. It's true, I did. But she was leaving anyway, so I was like, fuck it. I'm not, I'm not doing this anymore. Yeah, so this is just kind of like a rambly rant, but to the question, should you therapy, question mark, should you try therapy? Yeah. God, I hate living in New York. And everything's so loud too, because I still have my AC unit in. And so like, it's literally like having the window open, because the window is open. I gotta take my damn AC unit out. It's the fucking winter time. I'm incapable. I gotta call my boyfriend and have him do it. Anyways, so that's all I want to talk about. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are and what your experience has been. My final advice is just give it a try. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but also you might have to give it many tries. That's where I'm at right now. But it's also okay if you don't want to. No pressure. But I think you should try it. I think it's worth it, and I think that if you find the right therapist, you will have a wonderful time. I don't know why I sang there. It's not a song. Okay, that's all I got. You serious? This whole time, all these sounds.